The notion that the science on climate change is a lie to manipulate Christians is a misguided and uninformed claim. This assertion stems from a lack of understanding of the scientific consensus and the motivations behind climate change research. In reality, the overwhelming majority of climate scientists agree that human activities, particularly the emission of greenhouse gases, are significantly contributing to the warming of the planet. This consensus is based on decades of research, data collection, and analysis from multiple lines of evidence. The idea that climate change is a hoax or a manipulation tactic is often perpetuated by misconceptions and misinformation. Some argue that climate change is a natural phenomenon and that the current warming trend is part of a natural cycle. However, this claim ignores the fact that the current rate of warming is unprecedented in recent history, and that the concentration of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere has increased significantly since the Industrial Revolution. The scientific community has extensively studied natural climate variability, and while it is true that the Earth's climate has fluctuated in the past, the current warming trend is driven by human activities. Another argument made by those who claim that climate change is a lie is that it is a plot to control people's lives and impose a socialist or secular agenda. This claim is unfounded and ignores the fact that climate change is a global issue that affects people of all faiths, cultures, and ideologies. The scientific community is motivated by a desire to understand and describe the natural world, not to promote a particular ideology or agenda. Climate scientists come from diverse backgrounds and hold a range of political and religious views, yet they overwhelmingly agree on the reality of human-caused climate change. Some Christians may be skeptical of climate change due to a perceived conflict between science and faith. However, this perceived conflict is based on a misunderstanding of the relationship between science and religion. Science and faith are not mutually exclusive, and many Christians recognize the importance of caring for creation and protecting the environment. In fact, many Christian denominations and organizations have issued statements acknowledging the reality of climate change and the need for action to mitigate its impacts. It is also worth noting that the claim that climate change is a lie to manipulate Christians is often based on a flawed understanding of the Bible and Christian teachings. Some argue that the Bible teaches that humans have dominion over the earth and that climate change is not a concern. However, this interpretation ignores the many biblical passages that emphasize the importance of caring for creation and being good stewards of the earth. The Bible teaches that humans have a responsibility to protect and preserve the natural world, and that our actions have consequences for the planet and its inhabitants. In conclusion, the claim that the science on climate change is a lie to manipulate Christians is unfounded and misguided. The overwhelming evidence from multiple lines of research confirms that human activities are significantly contributing to the warming of the planet. Climate change is a global issue that affects people of all faiths and backgrounds, and it is not a plot to impose a particular ideology or agenda. Christians, like people of all faiths, have a responsibility to care for creation and protect the environment. By recognizing the reality of climate change and taking action to mitigate its impacts, we can work together to build a more sustainable and equitable future for all.